So this is exactly one of the reasons I wanted to bring this fitness channel back, as well as the love that I got from the internet, because boom, there you go. There's Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. They're holidaying somewhere. Maybe it was Greece. I think I read that. And I suppose a large portion of this could be because it's a wrestling thing and everything in wrestling, with any kind of niche, when there is, something to dive into, the fans and the crazies dive into it pretty hard. But here you have Triple H, his wife Stephanie McMahon. I'm sure you're very aware of them, especially because you know that I'm knee-deep in professional wrestling too. And given, I suppose, what Triple H once looked like, there were some, let's just go with it, horrible comments, some offensive comments, some insulting comments, and I understand this is going to happen regardless, but as you can see here, we're going to go through a few pictures. The issue I have with it is there is nothing wrong with it, right? And my big problem is that 2025 in the world of fitness and how people see physiques and what they expect the physique to be is absolutely crazy. Now, when we're looking at this, we have to throw in the caveat that this is a 56-year-old man who has had heart surgery. Like, you can actually see, I think, in his right pec as you look at it, the little sort of bump in his chest. That's where his defibrillator, whatever the right word, pacemaker, etc., is there. So actually, on the bottom right, actually just seen another one. You're going to see it massively in 1 second, but we'll get it. The point is he has one, right? So the fact he has any kind of physique right now is absolutely incredible, because as he himself said in an ESPN interview a few years ago, he could have died. Stephanie McMahon, every time she talks about this, gets very emotional. I'm pretty sure he could have died. He's got 3 daughters. Physiques and fitness, fitness matters and health matters, but how you look fitness-wise is completely irrelevant when we're talking about life and death, right? As long as you're eating right and you're doing a bit of cardio and you're going to see a doctor and they're telling you, hey man, everything is going to be okay, everything else is irrelevant. Now, yes, speaking about the visual side of things, no, he doesn't look like the Triple H of 30 years ago. Now listen, Triple H's physique is what got me into the gym. I would say circa sort of 1999, 2000, 2001, just before he tore his quad, and when he came back in 2002, he was an absolute giant. I looked at him, he looked like He-Man, he looked like a superhero, and I was like, hot damn, that's what I want to do. I want to get into the gym, and it changed my life, so I'll never be able to thank him enough for that. I don't want to go on too much of a tangent here. And yes, other people throw other nonsense in there, like, well, it's all down to what he did back in the day. I don't care what he used to do back in the day, and you don't need to care what he used to do back in the day. That is nothing to do with this. I know the reasons he had his heart problems, and I don't care about that. What I am saying to you is that even if none of that had happened, and he never touched anything, you know what I'm talking about, this is still an incredible physique for a 56-year-old man who has had heart surgery. People do not look at things anymore, right? Let me zoom in. I thought he was going to zoom in for you. He's going to zoom in for me, obviously, or maybe it's not. There we go, done it. Right. For starters, you can still see he has pectoral muscles, right? If you want to probably get in trouble, go and Google a other 56-year-old man today. You can still see his pectorals, right? You can see them. That's not magic. Maybe it's from before. I don't know. I'm pretty sure he's still doing something. And when we go over to his deltoid here, you can see his damn deltoid. You can see his bicep. You can see his tricep. You can see his trapezius muscle. Yes, they are not as big as they used to be, but they are still there, right? He still has them. So many people have none of that. So many people, and I don't care what you look like, it's totally up to you, are all belly, right? They're all belly and they have no size anywhere else. That is not the case here whatsoever. And certain angles, I actually think you could even see sort of his abs coming through, but that is what people are drawn to, right? That is the area people are drawn to, his stomach area, his belly area, his tum-tum area, whatever you want to call it. Let's switch to this picture over here now, where once again you can see his bicep and his deltoid. Again, he's a 56-year-old man. I'm not saying he's old, but he's heading towards 60. Right? You have to keep that in your brain. You should be going mad about the way Triple H looks, especially because he's going through heart surgery. And I'm going to keep saying that. Yes, you can see there he has a teeny tiny bit of a belly. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. And the issue is we have now got to this stage where unless you're completely lean and ripped and 4% body fat, you're not in good shape, you have a terrible body, you suck, you should just give up the gym. Nonsense, man. And of course, 99.9% of the people throwing the hate out there, I don't even say they look even worse. I don't like to use those terms, better or worse, but we'll go with they're in worse shape. That's fair. I bet they're holding way more body fat and they're probably cholesterol is high and all of those kind of things. So to take shots to begin with is nonsense. But if anybody looks like that on their way to 60, you should be doing backflips, although don't, because you're almost 60 and you could hurt yourself. I don't want to do it now. I most definitely fall on my head. But this is obviously the one that people have got talking to. And listen, you can look at Triple H's legs. Triple H always had smaller legs in comparison to his upper body. So do I. You want to know why? Some days I can't be asked and I don't train calves. We're back. We did it. Somebody messaged me the other day. If somebody looks at you and go, man, your calves suck, you can just go, all right, why would you care? Unless you're a competitive bodybuilder. It doesn't matter what your calves look like, your quads, your triceps, your hamstrings. You train for you. We've talked about this as I get absolutely crazy. But yes, going back to this, that's all people see. And they try and make out like he's fat. That is not a fat man. For goodness sake, are you totally nuts? That is somebody who takes care of themselves. And I would imagine within what he's allowed to do. And again, I hate speculating like this because I don't know what his training plan is going to be. But quite clearly still going to the gym. quite clearly still being active, quite clearly not pushing his body in the way that he would have done 3 decades ago or 2 decades ago, but whatever he is able to do within the confines of his health, which means he's training perfectly, he is training smartly. Whether you're 25, 35, 45, 55, you have to do the same thing. Maybe you're coming back from a rotator cuff tear, you're not going to be able to slam your shoulders for a while, you have to rehab it and you have to take time. It's exactly the same with this. Whatever Triple H is doing is smashing it. We then move to this picture where you can see like I was saying earlier, you can see the square, the rectangle in the right side of his chest. And if we do, once again, stupid as it sounds, I mean, I'm going to go back to all the muscle groups. You can see them all. You just can. I'm just saying, when you're 56-year-old, look in the mirror, you'll be surprised. But even if you do look around his stomach area, you can still see a semblance of where the abdominals would be. And I'm talking about this as literally as I possibly can. But yes, there is some fat. Fat's not a bad word. You should eat fat. I'm not saying that he is fat, but I am just saying, oh, even call it fat skin. You know what I mean, though? There is just some size over the top of it. That is it. There is no way that if he wanted to, he couldn't lose a bunch of weight right now. But he probably doesn't want to because he's running WWE. He's head of creative and he's tired. And sometimes he probably just wants to eat some nice food. Again, I'm sure he's being super duper healthy as he always is. I think they talked about that on Stephanie McMahon's podcast. He's still a stickler for eating well. When I saw that, my first reaction was, hot damn. For a man that size, I mean, don't get me wrong, when you sort of see him like that and you compare it to the old days, of course he's lost size. Of course he has. It'd be weirder if he hadn't. But when you actually take it into the context that it's presented to you with him, we should all want to look like that when we're 56 years old, right? And again, he could, if you are so obsessed, and he doesn't need to do this, I'm just talking about it in general terms, but if you are so obsessed with this midriff area, he could get rid of that in probably 6 to 8 weeks, right? He could just drop out carbs and do one of those crazy diets, which you probably shouldn't do because it's a waste of time and you're not going to have consistency with it anyway. And then I tell you, this body would look completely different. But people don't do that. They just go, oh man, I can't believe it. And they just ignored the muscle. That's what drives me nuts, right? They just ignored any muscle he had. Like when you go back to this third picture, you can almost see his old physique. Now, Triple H is most definitely an ectomorph anyway, which means he probably struggled to hold muscle anyway. But even there, you can see over the years the way he has trained, the way he's dedicated himself to the gym. Again, it's different proportions, but you could almost see it like, you know, if he got ripped or lean, which he shouldn't be doing, not saying that at all, he looked different, but he wouldn't look too dissimilar from sort of a silhouette point of view. So I think this is mad, and I really do think we need to check ourselves at the door here. Nobody should be going nuts as if that is a bad physique or as that is a horrible physique. You can be surprised once again if you go back to 2002, but that would now be 2002, 3 years ago. 23 years ago, you shouldn't be comparing anybody to 23 years ago. You shouldn't even be comparing to anybody 6 months ago because you do not know what someone has been through. Like if you see somebody in the gym, they're only lifting 5 kilogram weights, but they've got some size to them, and you think to yourself, man, what a loser. No, once again, maybe they're rehabbing, maybe they're coming back from an injury, maybe that day they just went to the gym and decided, wouldn't it be fun if I lifted 5 kilogram weights, right? You cannot put your expectations and your assumptions, that's the word I'm looking for, on to anybody else, right? You just can't. And you should only be focusing on yourself anyway in the gym. But it's this kind of attitude that stops people going to the gym because they get scared because they think they're going to be judged. And there is nothing to judge here, especially in that first picture. I don't understand what people are seeing that I'm not. People are just throwing bones, right? And then we'll just say the word because people bring it in, oh, it serves him right for doing steroids. What a dumb thing to say. You think Triple H is the only person in wrestling history to do steroids? No, there was a massive steroid scandal in the mid-90s. We all know about it. But steroids don't turn you into a mass monster overnight. You still have to do all the other stuff. It's like steroids just like a percentage gain. And no, I don't think you should do that. Something flipping TikTok is out there going, oh man, we should just go on steroids. Who the hell cares? What the flub happened, man? Like 10 years ago, nobody would talk about it. Keep it hush, hush, hush. Then all of a sudden, everyone's like, man, let's blast trend. Don't blast trend. Don't do anything. It's not worth it, right? You have no idea what you're putting into your body, and it's just not a good idea. It's a terrible waste of time, and you're only going to upset yourself unless you are rich enough to have a powerful medical team around you. If you are that guy and you're getting your bloods checked 3 times a week, then go crazy, man, because they're going to make sure you don't go too far. Everybody else goes too far. And everybody else thinks, oh man, if I do double the dose, I'll be twice as big. Not how it works, once again, but nobody actually gets into the physiology of any of this. I can't even say that word anymore because I'm getting so mad. But if you're throwing barbs at this, if you're throwing stones at this, I already know what you look like, which sounds horrible, and I shouldn't say that, but nobody that goes to the gym and lifts weights and is in shape is saying anything about that, and the fact they're looking at it and going, my gosh, given everything he's gone through, isn't he just sort of like a poster boy for health and fitness and what you can look like in your mid-50s? Whereas the people that have never gone to the gym and never actually dedicate themselves to anything are being absolutely horrible, which is why I shouldn't even have made this video to begin with, because we're kind of leaning into that. But my big headline is once again, is the fitness world of 2025. Everybody has forgotten what a normal body looks like. Everybody thinks thinks, again, just to repeat myself, unless you are massive and look like Thor or Chris Hemsworth from the Marvel movies, that you're not even in good shape. You sometimes see people that don't have a lot of mass on them, and they're probably walking around about 10% body fat, which is incredible. People go, he's not that big. What are you talking about? He's got himself down to 10%. It's like it's easy. Like we can all do it. It's still the biggest insult. Again, the old fitness channel, this fitness channel. When people walk up to you and go, well, I'd like to be your size. Oh, it's that easy, is it? You're just going to pick up a weight and all of a sudden be me in 10 days. I've been doing this for 20 years, damn it. You should be nicer to me. So enough of that. It's one of the reasons I'm so happy to have a place to rant about this. There is nothing negative to say about this. Nothing. Zero. It's all positive. A man, like I say, coming back from heart surgery and clearly still being active in the gym because he had his heart thing years ago. You can't have muscle on you if you're not stimulating it. We talked about this on the video yesterday. I've been injured for the last 6 weeks. I haven't been able to train at all. And I've started to lose muscle because you have to stimulate the muscle, right? So this isn't magic muscle that he held since like 2009 or something crazy. I can't stand it. And if I'm not going to be the only one. But if I can be part of this movement to sort of get the balance back, where you can go to the gym and you can get a little bit of size and you can walk around about 13% body fat and people can look at you and go, wow, you've done a great job. Well, I'd much rather live in that world. I also forgot to shout out Gorilla Mind. They will help you with this. Again, supplements are always only going to support your training regime 1 to 2%, but they are the best ones I've ever tried, which is why they did get me on board and why I'm happy to promote them too, because I do not see it as a conflict of interest. I believe in what they do. It's gorilamind.com/Simon. You go to Simon, get 10% off and often more as well. Please do interact with this video as much as you can. Like the video, share the video, subscribe, and just leave comments and share it with your friends because I need to get the numbers up because it's a brand new channel, but it's still fun. And I'm very, very happy that it is back. And you know about my wrestling channel and anything else. If you'd just like to follow me, you can find me at Simon316, and we will go from there. And on the off chance Triple H ever does see this, you remain my fitness inspiration. You were back in my teens, you were in my 20s, and now that I'm heading towards the worst number ever, we've got a couple of years, well, for me anyway, I hope to look even remotely similar to that in my mid-50s, especially because he's got a lot of miles on his body from the professional wrestling. Keep that in mind as well. Don't let anybody judge you. If they're judging you, it's only because they're judging themselves inside and they feel like they have to be a horrible person and jump on your ass, which sounds terrible. Nobody needs that. Train strong. Train for you. If you don't want to go to the gym, that's perfectly fine, I should say. I'll see you soon.